Get ready with me as I share how I got this look, and we talk about the single life, the fact that at 61 I'm child-free and have never been married. Assumptions they make about women who are child-free and single, which are a little unfair. Like, how come they think that we're cat ladies? Or why do they think that, single women love cats? I always jump to the conclusion that there must be something really wrong with you, that no man wants you. How about maybe I don't want some man? I have to say that, when I was growing up and dating, men, don't like women that are overly confident and that are secure and independent. I was always told I was too independent. Especially, I was dating someone when I was just in university, and I was really into, making something of my career. And some guys are not really secure. Like, I got a job offer before my boyfriend, and it required me to consider moving. And he was like, he dumped me. He dumped me because, number one, he was insecure that he didn't get the job offer first, and that I got the job offer. And then, like, he didn't want somebody basically moving for their career. Like, I was supposed to maybe move for his career. How many times have you seen women have to move for the men's career? You don't see the man moving for the woman's career unless you're like Kamala Harris and you become vice president and your husband tags along. I don't think it's a conscious decision about saying, oh, I'm making a decision to be single for the rest of my days. I dated quite a bit in my 20s, 30s, and 40s. But then, I just never found the guy that I truly, really wanted to be with, or that really understood me. Like, I wanted someone to be supportive of me and be a partner. I'm not looking for a meal ticket. Maybe because, of my generation, I think a lot of the men I dated really were looking for more of a traditional wife, one that waits for them coming home. Honey, what do you want for dinner? And, sex on demand and all of that kind of stuff. And, I like to go out with my friends. I actually believe that more relationships would be healthier if each had their own interests and their own friends. Another assumption is you are lonely, you are sad, you are depressed because you do not have a man to do things and activities with. Contrary to belief, I think women who are single and child-free, first of all, we have less stress. We don't have a spouse to worry about or a partner. We don't have the stress of children and worrying about our children. They're a blessing, don't get me wrong. I think children are wonderful, and had I had some, I would have been happy about that. Another misconception is, what's going to happen if you get sick? Who's going to take care of you? Well, you can't assume that your spouse or your partner or your kids are going to take care of you when you're sick. I actually have friends, and we do look in on each other. But look at the case of Shannon Doherty. Her husband dumped her when she had brain cancer and breast cancer. She was on her own. And you know what? She had friends that stood by her. I think a lot of people think about, you must be so lonely because you don't have anyone in your life. And I'm not going to say that I don't experience bouts of loneliness. I think that's a human emotion. But most of the time, I'm quite content to be on my own. And I have friends. And even when I go out on my own, I'm not shy. And I talk to people all the time. I meet so many interesting people in my travels. And I think that's another thing that women don't do enough, which is go out on their own, or they wait to think like, I'm only going to go on that trip if I meet someone. I have to become your own best friend. And I think it's really healthy to be independent and rely on yourself and love yourself, because I think then you're open to meeting other people and welcoming them in your life. I'm not closed up to the point of saying I don't want to meet someone or that I wouldn't meet someone. In fact, I'm being set up on a date. So we'll see. But I just feel like, don't go into it to say, what if I never meet the one? It's possible I may never meet the one, and it doesn't mean that I'm going to give up on life. I have so much enjoyment in my life. I do everything I want to experience in my life, and I'm not going to have any regrets when I leave this world. I think everybody needs to do work on themselves. And I don't think it's just men. I do think men and women, in terms of their expectations, in terms of their roles, I think we demand a lot of ourselves, but other people demand a lot of us. Or the idea that you're going to have this ideal life 24/7. I know that when people get married, they think we're going to stay in love forever and ever. But I don't know how many times I see divorces after like a year or two of marriage because people have such unrealistic expectations and lack of compromise. And I do think you have to compromise in relationships, regardless whether you are single or married. To learn from like people like Shannon Doherty is she lived her life to the fullest and enjoyed every moment despite the challenges of having cancer. I think we all have to live our life like that. Enjoy your time on this planet, regardless of whether you are married and single, and appreciate the life that you've been given and you have the privilege to age.